Alright, this is going to be a quick demo on how to install and use the Minecraft server plugin called Wormhole, which I created, and what you're seeing here is the bucket page for it. I'll put a link to this in the video description. So let's go ahead and get started. So Wormhole is a teleportation plugin. It lets users save jump locations so that they can teleport to those saved locations whenever they need to. And so there's a list of features, commands, all that sort of thing on the page here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start installing it on a demo server real quick. So I'm going to download the latest version, which happens to be 1.4.0 beta. Go ahead and download this. Keep it. So that's downloaded. Let's go over to my downloads folder. Let's copy this into, this is my demo server. So I'm going to drop it into the plugins directory. There we go. And let's go and jump over to the server. Server's already running. So I'm going to go ahead and just reload the plugins. And let's make sure everything worked. This is the first run, so here we can see Wormhole loading up. And everything looks like it finished. So you can see the directory created here. So you've got here's your database file. You shouldn't have to worry about that. And the config file, which you can open up, and you can change various aspects of how the plugin behaves. And that's all covered in the page online. So the plugin's now loaded up into the server. So let's jump over to Minecraft. So multiplayer, I'm running locally, so I'm going to go ahead and join the server here. And oh no, it's raining. I've set up a little test environment here, so we can go ahead and test the plugin. So plugins, there it is. All right. So first things first, let's just create a jump location. I'm going to make this location, I'm going to call this one test 1, why not? So I'll just go ahead and put a sign here so we know what it's doing. This is jump test 1. Okay, so we can go ahead and just look wherever you want to. So /worm add test 1. Add a jump test 1. There we go. So if we walk away from that location, now we should be able to jump right to it. Worm jump test 1. There we go. And you want to go back, so you can just do that. Worm back. And simple as that. So now we've got test 1. Let's make test 2. Why not? And you don't have to place these signs wherever the jump locations are. This is just so we know where each one is. Worm add test 2. There we go. So now worm jump test 1. Test 2. There we go. So these two jumps are private to myself, so other players cannot by default access these jumps. Which is nice because you may want to create a jump inside your house, for instance. Got a little house here. You don't want people to find your house, maybe. So worm add home. There we go. So now I can go home whenever I want to. Can jump back. There we go. Super simple. But you may want to create jumps that are public to everybody. Hold on. Set day. Okay. So in that case, you want to create a public jump, and by default, server ops are the only ones that can create public jumps. But of course, you can change that using permissions. So we can just call this one, this will be public jump ASDF. Why not? So the command for that would be worm add, just like before, but now you say public and then the name ASDF. Add a jump ASDF public. So let's since this is a public jump, you can't get to it by just doing a worm jump ASDF, because you don't have one named ASDF, but there's a public one, and it tells you that. So you can do that. Public ASDF. There we go. So that's private and public jumps, using commands only. So now we can try setting up a sign, say jump to test 2. So now we can set this sign so that it points to jump 2. So worm set test 2. Set sign to jump test 2. So if we left click on it, oh, whoops, unset the sign because I broke it. Let's see, jump to test 2. And let's see, hopefully won't break it this time. There we go. Oh, I haven't set it because I broke it, so I'm going to set it again. There. Okay, now if I left click on it, now that I broke it and replaced it, left click on it, it tells you sign is set to jump test 2. So you right click on it, it jumps you right there. So I could set a sign over here. Let's call it test 1, why not? And same thing, worm set test 1. Left click on it, tells you where it goes. Right click on it, there. Similarly with public jumps, now if you want to set the sign to point somewhere else, you have to unset the sign first, and now you can set it again. Worm set, let's go public ASDF. Okay, right click, there we go, public jump ASDF. Now you can list the jumps, because you can imagine you might develop a lot of these jumps and there's no way you can remember the names of them all. So you can do worm list, and by default it will list your jumps. So you can see I've got 3. Home, test 1, and test 2. Tells you where they are. Similarly with public jumps, worm list public, and there's only 1, so that makes sense. You can also search for jumps. Worm search test tells you that you've got 2 jumps called test 1 and test 2. You can also do tab completion, worm jump test, hit tab, it tells you you've got 1 or 2. Switch between the 2. So there's that. And Wormhole will work across worlds as well. Here. Haven't been in here yet. I hope it's not a... Okay, that's a little close, but alright. So if you wanted to, you could create a jump. Let's make a public jump for the nether, so that anybody can jump to the nether without having to make one of these. So now we can jump to, let's go home. Boom, we're in our home. If we want to, we can always jump to the nether, like what we just did. And there we go. Let's go back. Right. And it will also work if you happen to be writing something. So we've got this horse here. Let's jump to B. Or, sorry, test 2. There we go. Still on the horse. Still right around. Can jump to the nether even. Oop. Still on the horse. Very convenient. Back. And that's pretty much it, I believe. So if you type worm, should list all the commands. So you covered add, back, cover cost, delete. Yeah, so you can delete your jumps, rename, replace, yeah, we can just demo those real quick. So maybe you want to rename test2, rename test2 to test22, make it easy. So now worm jump test 22 gets you there, but jump test 2 doesn't work anymore. Failed to jump, does not exist. We could replace test 1 . So now it points here. So if we move away from it, there we go. This sign, even though it says test 2, it's 22 now. So automatically adjusts for that. And then of course you can delete jumps as well. So worm delete public ASDF. So now we can't jump to public ASDF anymore. Nothing. Worm delete nether. Oops. Public nether. Can't jump to nether anymore. And there we go. That's pretty much everything. And of course, you know, if you're if you decide to set up costs for performing all of these functions, well, I don't have an economy system. I don't have Vault installed. So if you were to do worm cost, it would tell you the cost of doing different things. So I think that's it. Pretty much all the major features demonstrated. This is Wormhole version 1.4.0 beta.